The sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
Well, Bulldog, it's just me and you. Our F1 insider, Taco Bob, is off since the series is off this week. I guess he's, enjoying some downtime.
He's been working hard, keeping up with that over all these months and years.
Sure, yeah.
Doing his research. Yeah. What about the Indiana Pacers? My God, they bucked the odds yet again last night. Blew out heavily favored Oklahoma City 108-91 in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. We got ourselves a Game 7 coming up on Sunday night. So, man, the Pacers what an incredible story they are. They started out the regular season. I think they were like 10-15 during their first 25 games. Then they make a run into the playoffs. We've talked a lot about the 5 comebacks from 15 points or more down in the playoffs. They come back 5 times from 15 or more.
They got off to another slow start last night before then just blowing it open.
Yeah, they were down. I think they were down 10-2 early in the game, missed their first 8 shots. Then over the next 24 minutes, they outscored the Thunder 68-32. It was such a blowout that the Thunder starters didn't even play in the fourth quarter.
Did you see the stat that this is going to be the first NBA Finals Game 7 since 2016?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Good news for the Thunder, by the way. Home teams are 15-4 in the finals in Game 7. So that Sunday game is in OKC. But I'll tell you what. If Indiana wins this game, I don't know what the narrative will be if Indiana wins Game 7. Will it be that OKC choked because they were the heavy favorites coming into the series? Or will it be that Indiana is just a bunch of gritty underdogs that had a great playoffs? I don't know.
I've been saying it since they've been doing all of what you just described throughout these playoffs. It's almost like Team of Destiny type stuff,
Yeah, and we were calling the Magic the Gritty Committee during the regular season. I think Indiana's the real gritty committee, the way they played during the playoffs. So, we'll see what happens, but a Game 7 is on Sunday. In baseball, did you see the Tampa Bay
Hunter Biggie, who was just sitting in the dugout minding his own business?
Yeah, he's on injured reserve. He was, standing on the top row of the dugout last night, and a foul ball just lined right into the dugout, and it was Baltimore Orioles catcher Adley Rutschman, who's left-handed, just sharply pulls the pitch into the Tampa Bay dugout and right in the face of Hunter Biggie, and he went down like a sack of potatoes. Luckily, it looks like he's going to be okay, although he was taken to the hospital. The ball, by the way, came off Rutschman's bat at 105 miles per hour.
Oh, God.
So, can you imagine?
Normally, the pitcher, that always has that in the back of their head when they're on the mound, that you're going to get one drilled right up at you. You got to be on your toes there. But as you're in the, standing there in the dugouts, good Lord.
Yeah. Lynch, I want your opinion on something that happened that was sort of, under the radar in college football yesterday.
What's that?
There's a new amendment approved by the Florida Board of Governors, which oversees education, higher education in the state of Florida. New amendment yesterday where the state schools, talking about UCF, UF, FSU, they can now allocate more than $22 million annually to paying athletes, all right? This isn't the NCAA saying, hey, you pay your athletes. This is the Florida Board of Governors saying that public universities can utilize up to $22.5 million in non-athletic funding to cover paying athletes. In other words, our state government is allowing college athletic programs to take money from the general fund of the university to pay athletes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying, and the general fund consists of money coming from where?
Coming from the taxpayer funded our university.
Can donors donate to a university's general fund?
I don't know where donors can do, but the fact of the matter is this money is supposed to be used on educational purposes out of the general athletic fund or out of the general university fund. I don't like this. These football programs make plenty of money. If they can't pay their athletes out of their own budget, the state government should not be bailing them out with money that should be going elsewhere. That's my point on this.
Yeah, well, where I'm going with it is it does sound from where you just described. Yeah, no, that's wrong. I would give you that. But if private donors are able to contribute to the general fund and earmark it for athletics, I have no problem with that.
I don't think that would be permitted under NCAA rules. But who the hell knows?
Right? Who knows? It's the
Wild West.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, our state universities are now getting government bailouts to pay their players. That's the bottom line, and I'm not for it.
God.
So anyway,
you got to keep up with the Ohio States and the Texas, of the world.
I guess. By the way, Shedeur Sanders 2 speeding tickets now.
Jesus.
One of them 101 miles per hour, the other 91 miles per hour. Both happened after midnight up in Cleveland. So I think that's a little bit of a red flag. Don't
Sure.
you?
Yeah. They're going to be going faster than that at Pocono, though, this weekend.
Yeah, Pocono. NASCAR up in the Poconos. Have you ever been up in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania?
I may have driven through. I don't know. I haven't spent any quality time there.
It's beautiful up there.
Is it? Yeah.
Beautiful up there. Yeah, and the race is always packed. They get fired up in Pocono for the NASCAR race. I'm picking, by the way, Kyle Larson.
You're going out on a limb there. How about College World Series getting started this weekend? We get LSU and Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, as we said yesterday, Coastal Carolina, what a great story. Won 55 games during the regular season this year. Now they're in the College World Series playing the LSU, one of the premier powerhouses in college baseball over the last 30 years. So it's going to be an underdog. It's sort of like the NBA Finals. You got the underdog story and you got the heavy favorite. So hopefully Coastal Carolina gets it done.
Mike the Bulldog Bianchi, he is the host of Open Mic weekday mornings on adjacent to us, AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game, sports columnist for the Orlando Sentinel, and of course he takes a time out from his show to join us here for the sports page each morning on JRR.
By the way, happy birthday to some musical legends, Lionel Richie, Brian Wilson, and the great guitarist Chet Atkins.
Lynch and Tom. Are always on demand.
Download their podcast daily on our free iHeartRadio app.
Get it now at WJRR.com.